topics are more important to study with. So mostly you have to understand the sequence, and today I'll be covering all the parts of the sequence, and later on we will cover the topic of sets also. So you all know that if any number is given, like, keep it in note also, you can also note it down. If anything, number like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 is given here. So the first thing is you have to look on the number and you have to find out the difference. What is the difference actually? 4 minus of 2, the upper number minus of the lower number, right? 4 minus 2 gives you 2, plus 2 difference, right? All are giving me plus 2 difference. So what will be the next term for this one? The next term, they will be asking you the next term, and the next term is 12, right? The next term will be 12. Also, they will ask you the nth term for this sequence. Nth term. For finding the nth term, either we can be like without using the formula, we can do it, or by using the formula. Both way I will tell you. So what will be the nth term for this one? If I want to do without using the formula, what will be the next previous term of this one? That will be 0, right? Because if I add 2, 2, 2, so the next term will be like uh, 0 plus 2 is 2, right? So the next term will be 0, right? So 0 plus how much it's being like added, difference, and 2n. The previous term of the 2, that is 0, plus of the difference is 2, and I'll put n over it. Let's say let me give you another example like this so that you can understand it easily. Let's say 3, 6, 9, 12. You know that the difference is plus 3, right? The difference is plus 3. So actually for this, what will the previous number? You all know that the previous number should be 0, right? So we'll be writing 0 plus of the difference is actually 3, so 3n. So your answer is 3n. So to verify it, you can put the value of n as number of first term is 1. So 3 times 1 gives you I put n as 1 here, so 3 times 1 gives you 3. So that is the first term there over there. So like this you can do it, or if you feel like it's difficult for you to identify the previous term in the negative values and all, we have one more alternate solution for finding out. So another way also I'll tell you to find out the nth term. You can use either by this method, or you can use nth term formula. An equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. This is the formula you have to remember. Nth term formula, an equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. You can write the n over here. An equals to a plus n minus 1 into d, where a equals to first term, and where d will be equals to the difference. Okay, so so an is the first term, so a will be the first term. So first term of this one is 2, right? So you'll be writing 2 plus n minus 1 into d is what? 2. Again, the difference is 2 right here. So 2 plus this will be multiplied here, this bracket, right? Expanding the bracket, 2n minus of 2. You know, plus 2 and minus 2 got cancelled out, so you are left with plus 2n. So you can see the answers 0 plus 2 on or plus 2, and that is same, right? 0 will not be included over there. So in either of the way you can do it, but if you remember the formula method, it will be much more better for you. Okay, so we'll be using both the ways to find out in this lecture. Okay, so this is the sequence when we have a proper difference between the numbers, right? But let's say this is the another one. let's say if we don't have the proper difference, so let me take you an example in which there will be a second difference. So let's say we have 6, 11, 18, 27, 38, 51, right? So you might have noted in this first question, in this first question, uh, in this first question actually, so here we have the difference in the first row itself, right? We got the difference in the first row itself, but here the conditions may be different. So let's say, let's subtract the second term with the first term. 11 minus of 6 gives you 5, and 18 minus of 11 gives you 7, and 27 minus of 18 gives you 9, and 38 minus of 27 gives you 11, and 51 minus of 38 gives you 13. Can you see that in the first time we are not getting the proper difference, but we may get the difference in the second value, right? So if I subtract 7 minus of 5 gives you 2, 9 minus of 7 gives you 2, 11 minus of 9 gives you 2, 13 minus of 11 gives you 2 here. We are having all the difference in the second time, right? So this is called a second difference. In the first difference we did not, if I get the values in the first difference, I'll be directly using either of this formula or this method. If I'm not getting the answer in the first difference, I have to search for the second difference, right? So in the second difference I got the difference as uniform, that is +2. Then what I'll do is I have a formula to find out this nth term as well as the next term. So let's say I want to find out the nth term first. How to do this one? You have to use this method. You have to write half of second difference into n square. Keep it in mind, half of second difference into n square. So half of means multiply, second difference is what? This is what the second difference, right? So you have to write the second difference as 2 into n square. Got it? So this is what you have to use in any type of second difference question, half of the second difference into n square. So in this you can cancel out this 2 and 2, you'll be left with n square, right? Now after this, what you have to do is, this is n square, you have to put n as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because 6 terms are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So you have to put all the values of n as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and search out what it comes out to be. Let's say if I put a value of n as 1, okay? If I put value of n as 1, so I will be getting here 1 itself, right? Because 1 square is 1. If I put value of n as 1 over here in this n square, then the first term will be 1 itself, right? If I put value of n as 2, so 2 square is 4. If I put value of n as 3, then 3 square is 9. If I put value of n as 4, then 4 square is 16. 5, 25, 6, 36. Okay, once you get these value of 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, just by putting n as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 over here, you have to write the original sequence. What is the original sequence? Original sequence is 6, 11, 18, 27, 38 and 51. Keep it in mind, the original sequence is 6, 11, 18, 38 and 51. You have to write the same original sequence as, and this number below this one, this sequence below this one. You have to write this sequence below this one. So that sequence that we got it 1, 4, 9, 16, 25 and 36, and you have to subtract it. When you will subtract this one, I'll get what? 5, 6 minus of 1 is 5, 11 minus of 4 is 7, 9, and here 11, 13, 15, right? So this is the sequence. Subtraction, after subtraction I'll get this sequence, and just find out, you will get plus of 2 in all the difference of this one. Okay, you're getting plus 2 difference in all this sequence, second different sequence, right? So when you get the difference of second, you again will do the formula for nth term, or you can use the simple way of doing. If I use the formula for nth term, what will be the answer for this one? So nth term will be a plus n minus 1 into d, where a is 5 here, right? So I'll put a as 5 plus n minus 1 into difference is 2 over here, right? So if I put that, so 2n minus of 2 equals to 5 minus 2 is 3. Got it? So 3 plus 2n you can write for nth term. So your final answer will be what? You will be taking out this n square and you will be taking out this one. So your final answer will be nth term for this sequence will be equals to n square plus 3. You can write n square plus 2n plus 3. Okay, so this will be a final answer. What we did actually, what we did, this is the formula that you have to keep it in mind, half of the second difference into n square, right? Once we have done that, we will be using n square and put the value of 1 2 3 4 5 6, and when we put the value of these, we will get these sequence, and we will subtract that sequence with the original sequence, and again we will get some difference. And as usual, this sequence need to be solved by the first method that we have discussed, right? And you will get some nth term of that, and the first nth term and the second nth term you have to add it to find out the answer. So let me discuss one more question with you, the same type of question, so that it will be easy for you to understand. I'll give you one more example over here, the same. Okay, the second type, that is, let's say 2 4 8 14 and 22 is our question, right? Sequence, and we have to find out the nth term of this sequence as well as the next term. If I want to find out the nth term of this one, you know that with the first difference I'm not getting. See, 4 minus 2 is 2 itself, and 8 minus of 4 is 4, 14 minus of 8 is 6, 22 minus of 14 is 8 over here. We are not getting in the first sequence. We will be checking the second sequence. In second sequence, I'm getting plus 2. Can you see 4 plus 2 is 6, 8 plus 6 plus 2 is 8. So plus 2 as the difference. So what is the first method that I asked you to do it? You have to remember this formula. You have to keep it in mind that you have to do half of the second difference. Half of the second difference into n square. This is a universal, right? For all any type of second difference, you have to use this one. So we can use this formula. Keep this formula in mind. So we'll be writing half of second difference is what? 2 into n square. Okay, so this 2 and 2 got cancelled out. We are just left with n square. Got it? Now what we will do, we'll just put the value of n as 1 2 3 4 5, because 5 numbers are there. 1 2 3 4 5 numbers are here, so we'll use 5 values till 5 n is 5. So if I put value of n equals to 1, I'll get what? Let's put 1 by 1, right? 1 2 3 4. If I put a value of n as 1, I'll get 1, right? Because 1 square is 1. If I put an n as 2, then 2 square is 4. If I put n as 3, then 3 square is 9. 4 square is 16. 5 square is 25, right? Then this is the, I put n as 1 2 3 4 5, right? These are the value that I put it here. But what I will do in the next after that, I'll be picking up the original sequence. What is the original sequence here? That is, it's not minus. The original sequence is 2 4 8 14 and 22. Now this original sequence need to be subtracted with the sequence that we got from the second difference, that is 1 4 9, 16 and 25. What we will do, we will subtract this one. So 2 minus of 1 is what? 1. 4 minus of 4 is 0. 8 minus of 19 will be minus of, because sorry, 8 minus of 9 is minus of 1, right? 8 minus of 9 is minus 1. And this will be 14 minus of 16 will be minus of 2. And 22 minus of that will be minus of 3, right? So after that, what you have to check is you have to find out the difference of this one. If I find out the difference of this one, you will get as what? 0 minus of 1 is minus 1, right? And minus 1 minus of 0 is minus 1 itself. And minus 2 minus of minus 1 gives you what? Minus 2 plus of 1, that is minus 1 again, right? Can you see that? Minus 3, you can use your calculator. Minus 3 minus of minus 2 gives you minus 3 plus of 2, that is minus of 1 again. So you will get to you will easily get the value in the second difference in this when we subtract the original with the sequence that we got it. So now what we will do, we will do the nth term for this sequence, right? This sequence, and this we will take it as a difference. So what is the nth term? You know that a plus n minus 1 into d is the nth term. So a is 1 and n minus of 1 into d is minus 1, right? So 1 plus you can write over here, it's minus, this gets multiplied with this, so minus of n, and this gets multiplied with this, so plus of 1, right? So we'll be having 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 2 minus of n, right? This is the sequence. So what is the final answer? How I told you to do it. So final answer will be this n square, and this 2 minus of n you have to write. So n square minus of n plus of 2 will be your answer, final answer. So if you want to verify it, whether the first term gives you 2 or not, I'll be putting n as 1 to find out the first term. If I put value of n as 1, what I'll get? Check. 1 square minus of n is 1 plus of 2, right? So here 1 square is 1 minus of 1 plus of 2, 1 minus plus 1 and minus 1 got cancelled out, we get 2. So 2 is the first term. So whatever sequence they are asking you to find out the 5th or 6th or 100th sequence term, you can easily find out putting the value of n as that one, right? 100 or 200, whatever, you can put the value of n as that one and find out the particular term. So this was the second case. The first case is where the sequence in the first difference itself we are getting the answer. If we are not getting the answer in the first sequence, we will be using another sequence, the second difference, right? We'll call this as second difference, and when we are getting it in that the sequence are like same difference are there, then we will be using half of second difference time n square, and we will try to solve it, use the same method of finding it. Okay, so this is the second topic, and in this same we'll be having another topic, that is when we have a sequence like this one. Let's say if I'm given with 1 4, keep these things in note, right? Because it's very important. So if I have 1 4 9 16, right, and 25, you can see that all these are square numbers, right? 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, and 3 square is 9, and 4 square is 16, 5 square is 25. So what will be the nth term for this one? It's very simple, it will be n square, right? Because if I put value of n as 1, then 1 square is 1, so first term I am getting. So value of the nth term will be equals to n square. Got it? So same way, for example, the question may even ask you like this one. For example, if they start with instead of starting with 1, if they start with 4, right? 4 9 16 and 25, what is happening? One of the number is being skipped back, right? This was 1 here, but I started with 4. So if I write the nth term as n square, then what will happen if I put value of the n as 1? So 1 square is 1 itself, right? I am getting a wrong answer. So value of the first term will be, it should be 4 right now instead of 1. So what I have to do here, the nth term will be different. Here the nth term will be different, like it will be like n plus 1 whole square, because one term we are shifting it towards the left, so it will be n plus 1 whole square. So if you put value of n as 1 over here, so 1 plus 1 whole square gives you 2 square, that is 4, the first time getting it. Okay, so let's say if I shift one more number to the left, okay, let's say if I'm having 9 over this side and 16 here and 25 here and 36, if I shift it like that, so what will happen? I shifted two numbers to the left, so my answer will be n plus of 2 whole square. Check it. So if I put value of n as 1, 1 plus 2 whole square, 1 plus 2 is 3 and 3 square is 9, so first value is 9. Got it. Let's say if I shift one more number towards the left, if I start with 16, 25 and 36 and 49, so you will be getting the nth term as n plus 3 whole square, because I shifted a 3 number towards the left side. Got it. So this is how it works. And the same thing, the same pattern is also with the cubic number. The same pattern is also with the cubic number. So if we have the number like 1, 8, 27, 64, like that, right? So what will be the nth term of this one? You can very clearly see that this is another one, right? You can very clearly see that this is actually a cube number. Keep it in mind, this is a cube number. So 1 cube is 1, 2 cube is 8, 3 cube is 27 and 4 cube is 64. This is actually a cube number. So the nth term for this one will be what? N cube. As I said that here in the first thing, if I have 1 square 4, 1 square 2 square 3 square 4 square 5 square, then that becomes n square. Same way this 1 8 1 square 1 cube 2 cube 3 cube 4 cube will become n cube. Got it? This is an n cube. So that is the nth term. But if they are starting, the sequence is starting with 8, 27, 64 and 125, then what will happen? Because it's being shifted one unit to the left side, then it will be n plus of 1 whole cube. The same way, if the sequence is shifted 2 unit to the left side, it will be like that. Okay, so you have to keep it in mind. This is how it works, the square and cube. There is one more thing that you can keep it in mind in case of square and cube. Like if the question is in this format, you know that the square number starts from 1 4 1 4 9. 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16 and 5 square is 25. And instead of giving this pattern, they are giving you like 2 5 10 17 26. So you know that this is actually the nth term for this is n square, and something, this is being related to this n square, right? What is related actually? It is actually 1 plus of n square, right? Because one number that is being added with n square, because 1 plus 1 is 2 and 4 plus 1 is 5 and 9 plus 1 gives you 10 and 16 plus 1 gives you 17 and 25 plus 1 gives you 26. So what is happening? So nth term for this type of sequence will be related to n square, that is n square plus of 1. Okay, keep it in mind. The previous was n plus of 1 whole square. Here this will be n square plus of 1, because this is n square itself, right? This 1 will be n square, 4 will be n square, but I'm adding 1 to it. It can be even like this one. If I give you the sequence as 3 6 and 11 and 18 and 27. So actually what happens from this, if I connect it, it is n square plus of 2, right? Because n square is 1 and 1 plus of 2 gives you this one. So nth term is calculated. It can be in the negative also. Let's say if it is 0, then 3, then 7, then 15, then 24. So what is happening? One unit is negative from that square, right? So what we will do, so here I'll be writing n square minus of 1. Okay, as 1 unit to added to that, but here it's 1 unit negative to that. So if I put a value of n as 1, so 1 square minus of 1 gives you what? 0. The first term is the same thing. Since this is with square, the same thing we can use for the cubic pattern. See, if I give you 1 8 27 and 64. And this is a cubic pattern. The nth term for this is n cube. If they give you like 2, 9, 28 and 65, what happens here? It's actually a pattern with n cube plus 1, right? So the nth term for this one will be n cube plus 1. I believe you understand this. So there is one more thing that you need to keep it in mind. See, keep it in mind, all these things we have discussed based on squares, cube, the value of nth term when we have in the first difference, when we have in the second difference. Okay, so you have to check for these numbers if they are, which type of question is this one. And let's say the last thing that I'm going to discuss is the ratio method. The ratio method is also very important. Let's say if I have any question like 8, sequence like 8, 16, 32 and 64. You might have some problem. You just see, by seeing the number you might start subtracting with this one, right? So uh, you might not get the first difference also, you might not get the second difference also, right? So what might be the problem here over here? So you might, if you are not getting the first difference, if you are not getting the second difference, so you need to try with something else here. You need to divide and check this one. 16 divided by 8 is what? 2, right? And 32 divided by 16 is what? 2 again. And 64 divided by 32 is 2 again. So this term minus of this term, if you check it, you will get the same ratio, that is same difference between the ratios, right? That 16 divided by 8, we call this as a ratio, right? And 32 divided by 16, all these ratios comes out to be same. So we'll be using a small ratio formula that you have to keep it in mind. That is, if the ratios are same, right, then you have to use a into r n minus of 1 formula, where a will be equals to the first term uh, as we have done in that formula, a plus n minus 1 into d, and r is the ratio or the division part, this one. So how we have to write it? A is 8 into r is 2 and n minus of 1. Got it? So this will be our nth term, final nth term. Okay, so in this if we put the value of n as 1, so see, 8 into 2 into n as 1, if I put it, 1 minus of 1 is 0, right? So 2 raised to power 0 is equals to 1. Anything raised to power 0 is 1, right? So we get the first term, that is 8 over here, right? So let me give you one more example quickly. Let's say if I have 2 4 like that, right? You might have you might try to find out the difference using subtracting and all. You will not get in the first difference, second difference. You will also not get uh, in the square numbers or in the cube numbers. You ultimately will land up with dividing this one, right? 4 divided by 2 is 2 and 8 divided by 4 is 2. It's actually a division. Okay, 16 divided by 8 is divided by 2, the ratio formula. So you'll be applying a into r n minus of 1 formula. Keep it in mind, this formula. This is important actually. So a is the first term and r is the difference, that is division difference, rn minus of 1, right? So this will be your final answer for this sequence. So that's all these things you have to keep it in mind. Let's discuss some of the questions based on this one. So these are some of the questions that I prepared from you for you, just for like practice, and these are from past paper itself, and different past paper 43, 42, 41 and all. So definitely it will help you. Just let's do some of the questions based on our revisions, right? So here you can see the sequence they are asking. You can try this question also, just pausing the video. So you know that I told you you have to check for the difference first of all. So the difference might be like, it's like plus 5 over here, and 9 plus 5 is 14, plus 5 and 5, right? Plus 5 is the difference, and definitely the next sequence will be plus 5, that is 24. Got it? And for finding the nth term, either you can use the formula, nth formula. uh, Most of the students get confused. If I get the, what will be the next term of this one, that will be -1, right? So, and the -1 and plus of 5 and like that. So instead of like getting confused, uh, uh, actually, what is that, like 4 is there and 1 2, like it will be like 3, and this will be like 2, and here it will be like 1 and then 0, right? So 1 2 3 4 and then -1, right? So we get moved -1 to the, that's why, and then 5 n comes from here, right? The difference is plus of 5 over here, right? So we can identify like this one, or else, as I taught you in the revisions topic, you can use directly the nth term formula. Let's find out whether we are getting the same. Nth term formula says a plus n minus 1 into d, where a is the first term that I have to take as 4, and n minus of 1 into difference is 5, right? So 4 plus 5n minus of 5. So see, the same answer I'll get it. 5 minus of 5 plus of 4 is -1 plus 5n. So the same thing, right? So this is either you can use, most of the students remember this formula, so I just taught you the formula, because sometimes because of you are like, sometimes you just get that negative formula, the negative values wrong, so it's better to use formula. So now the nth term for that is very simple, that I taught you the first sequence, that was in first difference itself we got it. And let's find out this one. What is this one? uh, so what is the difference? If I find out, let's say this will be 7 and this will be like something like 19, and 66 minus of 29 is yeah, I'll be having like uh 37 over here, and so sorry, 37 over here, and it's like the difference does not make any sense over here. If I subtract this also, I'll not get a difference, common difference. So what is wrong with this? And you will start doing the ratios formula, right? 10 divided by 3 is something like 0.3, and 29 divided by 10 will be something 2 point something like that, right? So uh, the ratio is also not coming, the first difference is also not coming, the second difference is also not coming, then the cube is also not there. It is not also the cube one. One cube is 1, and 2 cube is 8, and 3 cube is 27, and 4 cube is 64. Can you see some pattern is being related to cubics? See, 1 cube plus 2, 2 cube plus 2, 3 cube plus 2, right? So yeah, this is actually related to the cube format. As I taught you in the revision in this, I taught you that they may even ask you n cube plus 1, n cube plus 2 also. This is also the same thing. 1 cube is 1, right? And 1 plus of 3, 1 plus of 2 gives you 3. So 2 cube is 8, and 8 plus of 2 gives you this one. 3 cube is 27, and 27 plus of 2 gives you 29, right? And 64 plus of 2 gives you 66. So the next term will be, because this is 4 cube, that is 64, 5 cube is 125, 125 plus 2 is 127. Also the nth term will be n cube plus of 2, right? You can go with some of my revision topic, you will understand. And this is what, it's actually 1 square and 2 square, and is that true? Is that 1 square and 2 square and 3 square? Definitely not. I'm not getting 3 square over here. I'm not getting any 4 square like that. It was just following. So this is not a square. Uh, let's try for the difference. If you feel like, if I find out the difference, it's giving me 4, and then it's giving me 12, and 64 minus of 16 will give me 48, like that. and if I do the second difference also, nothing will change. Then what is the problem? What might be the case? Then you just start searching for the ratio, right? Let us see whether the ratio comes out to be true. 4 divided by 1 is 4, and 16 divided by 4 is 4, and 64 divided by 16 is 4. So we are having the ratio format, right? And uh, so division by 4 is the perfect answer, right? Or else we can say that 4 times 4 is 16, 16 times 4 is 64, and 64 times 4 you have to do it, right? 64 times 4 is like 256, right? So your next difference will be 256. Also the nth term will be, I told you, that is a into r n minus of 1, where the ratio difference is there, where a will be 1 and r is what? The ratio, that is 4, and n minus of 1. This will be your answer, final answer. So I hope that you understand this one, and let me take one more questions based on this one. It will be like easy for you. You can also try from some of the past paper. This will be much more easy for you. uh, Let me take this question for you. So all these questions are from past paper itself, so also you can try some more questions. I cannot discuss all the question over here itself. So just find out the difference over here. Let's start with finding the difference using the first difference, that is 9 minus of 13 is that gives you minus 4, and this also gives you minus 4, and this also gives you minus 4. So as I told you, the next term should be what? 13 plus of 4 gives you 17, right? So 17 plus 17 minus of 4, and right, either you can do it in this way, or else you can also use nth term. Nth term is a plus n minus of 1 into d. If you have not watched my revision video, you can watch that. So nth term will be a is the first term, that is 13, n minus of 1 into d is what? Difference is minus of 4. So 13 minus of 4 plus of 4, 13 plus of 4 is 17 minus of this should be 4n, right? So 17 minus of 4n. We will be getting the same answer with both the method, a nth term method as well as this direct method. Can use any of the way to find out. Also check for this one. This one is okay. So if you will go on checking with the plus values or something like that, you will not get it. So let's check it. Actually, you should check it with one by one the values, right? So if you're not getting you should go for the ratio method, then you should jump for the cubic way, and you should also check for cubic plus 1, cubic plus 2, cubic minus 1, square plus 1, square plus 2, like that you have to check it. What is the sequence here? Actually, it is also I guess it is cubic minus 1, 1 cube minus of 1 is 0, and 2 cube is 8, and 8 minus of 1 is 7, right? 2 cube minus of 1, and here it is 3 cube is 27, and minus of 1. See, and this is 4 cube minus of 1. So what will be the nth term? N cube minus of 1, right? So the next term also you can find out by putting the value of n as 5. 125 minus of 1 is 124, right? So like that. And in this type of sequence, this is also same related to this one. So you can see that the first term is being added, right? Added by 1, right? So in this type of sequence, like 7 by 8, keep it in mind, I did not discuss in the revision topic, 9 by 32 and 10 by 64. In this one, you have to separate this top numerator number and the bottom numerator number differently. We'll be having nth term for the top different number, top numerator number as different. Let's say what will be the nth term for this one? We have plus 1 and plus 1 over here, right? So what will be the next sequence here? 6, right? So 6 plus of n, 1 n, right? This will be the nth term for this one. And what will be the nth term for this one? Actually, this is divided by 2, right? So a r n minus of 1. So a is what? 8 into r is what? 2, n minus of 1, right? So your final answer will be 6 plus n divided by 8 into 2 n minus of 1, right? So the next term will be 11, and 64 divided by 128. Got it? So this is how it works. So you can identify these things, as well as this question is one term in the sequence is p by q. C, right? Sequence C is P by Q. If one of the term is P by Q, what will be the next term? Actually, in sequence C, what is happening? The after the first term, one is being added to it, and in the denominator, in numerator is one is being added to it. 7 plus 1 8, 8 plus 1 9. In denominator, there is like multiple, right? The ratio was that, and the ratio was 2, and multiple of 2, 8 times 2 is 16, 16 times 2 is 32, so 2q, right? So your answer will be p plus 1 and 2q. As I'm not discussing the question paper with you, but instead of that, I'm trying to help you with some of the important concepts and mostly asked questions and the revisions of this chapter. So I hope you understand this chapter, this revision topic very well, and if you could not understand, read it, means watch it again one more time and till you understand it, because if you can do this question, I believe like you would have probably score out of 10 or 12 marks easily, very easily, 90% of the mark, because most of the questions are being asked from this topic itself. So I hope you understand, and thank you so much for joining me, and do subscribe and like my channel. Thank you so much.